everyone, we are back with my November Shop My Stash Part 2. This is the review portion of the video, and I'm sorry I'm getting this one up a little bit late this month. It was just kind of like a weird timing with like when the month ended versus like my filming days, so I wasn't able to get around to it just now, so sorry about that. But today I'm going to be showing you guys all of the products I used all throughout the month of November, and we actually have a few empties from this one, so I'm very excited, and I'm going to let you know what I thought about all these products. So I'm going to try to keep this pretty concise. We're going to try to do like speed lightning kind of review style. So starting off, we have week number 1 here. This one was actually a really good week for me as far as empties goes because I did completely use up the Clean Color Bedazzled Serum Primer. I used this one the last couple times and I was just on the brink of using it up, so I finally have officially used that one up, so I am so glad. I don't really care for this primer though. It would kind of like pill up under my foundation, so I didn't really love that one, but I'm so glad to have used it up. And since I used up that primer, I swapped in one, which was the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and I did use up that one as well. Then for my foundation, once again, this was another carryover product. This was a mini of the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I officially use this one up now. So since I used that one up midway through the week, I swapped in another foundation. So this one was another one that was like on the brink. This one was the Maybelline Fit Me. This one is the Dewy and Smooth formula. I really love this one, and I finished this one up as well. I pretty much like scraped it as much as I possibly could. There's really not much left. There's a little bit in the top here, but there's like no way for me to get to it, so for all intents and purposes this one is used up. And then since I used that one up midweek, I had another little mini one. This is so old. This is the Naked Skin Beauty Balm little sample. So this one was like a little tinted moisturizer. This one actually was kind of on the orangey side, but I used this one up as well, and that one got me through the rest of that week. Oh, and I just found the other foundation that I had as well for the Makeup Forever, so I guess technically that's 6 products we've used up. I definitely had a bit of like a last minute push with like this being the second to last month for my Shop My Stash project, so I have definitely been really focusing on trying to use up some stuff. Man, I was on a roll. So then for my concealer, I used the AOA Studio Liquid Concealer. Don't really have any strong thoughts on these. This is one of those products I'm just kind of like using to use up, but there is a lot of it here. So this one's definitely going to be in use for a while before it gets used up. Then for my powder, I have the Beauty Creations Barbie powder. This one is called The Future is Bright, and this one is a loose setting powder, and it is like a pinky toned one. This one I really liked because it's a little bit more of like a transparent pinky one. I have definitely been using a lot of pinky powders lately, and there are some I like and some I don't necessarily love. So this one is definitely one I really do like. It has a tiny bit of like a shimmery reflective sparkle to it, but it's very subtle. Then for my contour, this is the AOA Studio Sculpt Fix Contour Stick. This one is just like a really cool tone kind of little stick here. I actually really like this one. I didn't love it at first, but it's definitely starting to grow on me. And it does have a really nice cool toned kind of color, so definitely one I will be continuing using. Then for my blush, we have the SheGlam Crimson Butterfly Color Changing Blush. This one is a really pretty kind of like hot pink kind of blush. It does get a little intense. I did use it today, but I did kind of use a little bit of concealer to like tone it down just a little bit, but you can definitely get a really intense color with this blush. And then for my highlighter, this one I have not used in a while, and I love this one. It's the e.l.f. Glow Highlighter in the color Moonlight. This one's kind of like one of those like puttier kind of feeling highlighters. I really like it. I'm actually wearing this one today, and I love how it's just really soft on the skin. It doesn't look like too much, and I really love this color tone for me as well. Then for my brows, I used the Win Beauty by Serena Williams eyebrow pencil in, I think, the color Blonde. I do really like this one. I think it's a really nice, like, not too hard, not too creamy kind of formula. I think the color is really good too, so I definitely really like this one. It's such a shame that they are like going out of business or like phasing out of Ulta or something, but either way, I did really like this color, and I got it like for maybe just a couple bucks on Ulta since they were discounted. And then for my eyeshadow primer, I use the Morphe Solo Artist Priming Cream Shadow in the color Airplay. This one's just kind of like a MAC paint pot kind of thing. I'm still trying to like figure out what I think about this one. It's a little on the drier side, but like not too dry, but I wish it was just a tiny bit creamier, but it's a really good color for just kind of blanking out the veins in my lid, so I do really like it for that. So I still need to like play around with this one just a little bit more. Then for my eyeshadow, we have the Morphe Party Crasher palette. This one is a really pretty palette when I look at it. It has 4 mattes, this like kind of periwinkle blue, then like this gray mauve, then like a brown, then like a purpley kind of color, and then these two in the middle. They can be used wet or dry. I did use them both ways and I just was not a fan of them. I feel like the payoff was really nice with the shadows applied wet, but then throughout the day, like they would kind of crumble and kind of go sheer, and I don't know, I wasn't really about this palette. The mattes worked out just fine. I think they were pretty, but I feel like I was just kind of let down by those shimmers. In the end, I just didn't really love this palette. I love the colors. I thought they were super pretty, but I just wasn't impressed with the longevity of the shimmers. I did, however, use the Stila eyeshadow, the little glitter one. This is the Glitter and Glow, and it's in the color Sunset Cove. It's like a really pretty, like pinky, bluey, purpley kind of color. This one's so pretty. It is getting to like the end of its life cycle though, so that is kind of like making me super sad, but this one is such a pretty color. Then for my eyeliner, I used the Ulta gel eyeliner in the color Majesty. This one's really good as like a dark lower lash line, kind of smudgy kind of thing. That's how I typically use liners these days because I don't really love like lining my eyes with them. I just kind of feel like it makes my eyes look smaller, which I don't love. But I did really like how this one looks smudged on my lower lash line, and since it was like a pencil and not like a powder, it definitely stayed really well. Then for my liquid liner, I used the SheGlam Catwoman liner. I really love this one because it's so precise and very fine with the tip. It does take me a little bit more time to do my liner with this one because it is so fine. And I like to do a little bit of like a thicker line on like the lid, but it's really good for doing the winged eyeliner. It's just like so easy, so I do quite like that one. Then for my lip combo, we have the Mario lip pencil. This one is in the color Rich Mauve. I think this is a really great color. And then I used the Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the color Rosewood Glow. I think that those are just really lovely colors. They work so nicely together. This one does have a little bit of like a minty kind of feeling, so it just kind of like makes your lips feel like very fresh, and I don't know, I just love it. And then I also used the NYX High Voltage lipstick in the color, I think it's French Kiss. Yeah, French Kiss. This one's like a really nice, like creamy, super pigmented type of lipstick. And I like wearing this one when I want a little bit more of like of a pinky color. So that one is another really good lipstick. I love that formula. And finally for my setting spray, I use the SheGlam Twilight Setting Spray. I still really don't like this one too much. It just makes my skin really oily. Even if I like shake it up really well and like mix the two like, you know, solutions in here, it's still like if you just do too much, if you're prone to like overspraying your setting spray, you're going to be a really greasy mess. So this one I have to use extremely sparingly. So in the end, I'm not really a fan of this one, but I will continue to use it up. All right, we're not going fast enough. We got to do this quicker. This is week 2. For my primer, I use the e.l.f. Skin Sun Touchable Woe Glow Primer. I actually really like this one. It kind of has a little bit of like a glowy pearliness, and it's a sunscreen. I am so bad at not wearing sunscreen, so this one, having it built in, I think it's a really good product. The only thing is, I haven't really been vibing with e.l.f. lately. Like, honestly, the last, I don't know, like honestly this year to 6 months, like I just kind of like really haven't been liking all the things they've been doing. So I'm kind of taking like a little bit of a break from e.l.f. as far as like purchasing. I'm still obviously using the things that I have, but I have not purchased from e.l.f. in a hot minute. They're just kind of doing a whole lot of stuff over there that, I don't know, just feels weird. For my foundation, we have another product that I used up. I was so excited. This one was the CoverGirl Clean Matte Foundation. I really enjoyed this one. This one just looked so good on my skin all the way up till the evening when I would take my makeup off. This one was also a really nice color for me. So for future reference, 520 Creamy Natural was a really good color match for me. So I definitely really love that, and I'm so glad to have used up another product. For my concealer, I used the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito Concealer. Overall, I liked it. It's nothing that special. I feel like with concealers, it has to be really bad for me to not like it, but if it's like just good or average or anything, like I don't really have like strong thoughts on it, but I do like it. I will continue to use it. Then for my powder, this is the SheGlam Skin Focus High Coverage Powder Foundation. I use this one very lightly as like a setting powder since it is like a full blown, like powder foundation. I don't like wearing powder foundations, but just using it as a setting powder works for me. It is just slightly on the dark side, I will say, so definitely using it sparingly is the way to go. Then for my contour, I have this teeny tiny Peri Para ink multi, and this one I used as like my contour and everything like that. It's very, very small. It's kind of one of those things I feel like I need to take the stopper out to like get all of the product out of there, but this one's still going. It's a little bit more on the subtle side, but it got the job done. Then for my blush and highlighter, I have this duo. This is from Beauty Creations from the Barbie collection. This one's the Born to Lead Cheek Trio. So for this one, I use the cream blush here and I top it with the bottom blush here. This one's a little warmer and this one's a little cooler, but I still think they worked out pretty well together. And then for the highlighter here, honestly, I do not like this as a highlighter for my skin. It kind of reminds me more of like those chunky, sparkly, diamondy shadows, kind of, and I do not like that finish on my face. It's just way too sparkly. I would use this as a single eyeshadow, but as a highlighter, it's not my favorite. For my brows, once again, I have the Brow Tweeze from Physicians Formula. This one is still going. We're gonna be using that one for a while. It's not my favorite color, but we're working on it. Then for my eyeshadow primer, I use the Essence Prime Like a Pro eyeshadow base. This one's a little bit more of like, it reminds me a lot of the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, where it has a little bit more of that thinner kind of feeling. So I kind of like more of a creamier type of formula, but I'm still trying this one out. This one is a new one to me, so I definitely want to kind of, you know, try it out a little bit more. And then for my palette, this one was the Ulta Beauty Collection Stormy Skies palette. This one, I really love the color story of it. I love these kind of like silvery, cool toned kind of shadows. This was a really fun one to play with. The only thing is I feel like I wish there was one bright shimmery shadow, because all of the shimmers, the 4 that we have, they are definitely more on the darker side. So I wish there was more of like a bright shimmer, kind of like a highlighter shimmer type of thing. So for this week, I did end up using the highlighter as like that kind of thing, but I wish there was a brighter shimmer in the palette. Other than that, no notes. And then for the liner, I used the Ulta Beauty. This is the gel eyeliner in the color Penny. This one was the perfect one to use with that palette. It's actually not as bright as you would think with the name being Penny. Like, you'd think it'd be more coppery, but it's more of like just a cool toned like taupe color, but it was so perfect for like just a little bit of definition on the lower lash line without it being like way too dark. So I love this one. I feel like I could use this like anytime. This one I only ended up using one day. This was one of the eyeshadow topper like glitter shadow ones. This is from Ioni. I got this from the Dollar Tree. This one was their liquid eyeshadow in the color Curiosity Gray, and this one kind of came out like around New Year's, but it's a really pretty like steel like gray gunmetal glittery kind of thing. It was very, very pretty, but it was a little on the intense side. So I did only actually end up using this one day, but I definitely want to play with it again sometime soon. Then for my eyeliner, I used once again the Chic Glam We Are All Stars Marilyn Monroe eyeliner. This one I've been using like all year. Really like this one. It's a pretty good one. And then for the lip combo, we have a mini of the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Pencil. This one's in the color Pillow Talk Fair. Loved that one. And then of course I paired it with the lipstick. This was the mini Pillow Talk Fair. This one, I really love the color. The only thing is I feel like I wish the formula was slightly more creamy, because it was a little bit more on like the drier, matter side. And I just kind of feel like I wanted it to be a little bit more hydrating to the lips, so I definitely applied the LA Girl Glazed Lip Paint. This one is in the color Elude. This one's like a super like milky, beigey kind of like nude color. So that one I put on top of it just to kind of give my lips a little bit more gloss. And then finally for my setting spray, we have the Etude House Glow On Setting Spray. I'm still working on this one. I definitely made a dent, but we've got a long way to go on this one, so we're gonna keep going until it's gone. All right, moving on to week 3. For my primer, I had this little like sample primer. I don't really like this one, but I'm gonna continue to use it up, especially since it is so small. I will continue to use it, but I do not like it. It's the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. I do not like mattifying primers. I have very dry skin, but you know, I think I've got like probably half of this left, so we're gonna have to carry it over to another month. Then for my foundation, I picked the BH Cosmetics liquid foundation. This one, I really like the formula of it. However, the color is so orange. Like, I don't know if you can like tell. It is extremely orange, so I actually had to pull in another foundation to mix with it. So this one is way too light for me. This one is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Glow Illuminating Foundation. So this one's like too orange. This one was like way too light. So I ended up mixing them together to like try to make them work for me. On its own though, I really like this formula of foundation. They don't exist anymore, unfortunately. So I actually brought in these two products as well to like color adjust it. This is the LA Girl Pro Mixing Foundation Pigment in blue, and then I also have a clean color one in white. So those I also use to kind of like mix and match. And then for my concealer, I have this Chic Glam concealer. This one's in the color Cotton Candy. Once again, I'm not picky with my concealers. I do really like the brightening effect it gives, so I do like this one. Then for my powder, I used another Chic Glam. This is the Insta Ready Face and Under Eye Setting Powder. So this one's actually a pink setting powder loose one on the bottom, and then it has a pressed one on the top. I mainly use the pressed one just out of like convenience because it was just easier to use. This one is super pigmented though, and this one, it like makes your under eyes look a little on the pinky side, which I do have a more like pinky tone to me. But if I overdo it with this one, since it is really pigmented, it kind of makes my under eyes just look a little off. So I definitely have to use this one a little bit on the sparing side, which is definitely why I liked that Beauty Creations one a little bit more, because this one's like a really pigmented pink, whereas that one was a more subtle pink, and I think I definitely like the subtle kind of effect more. For my contour, I used the e.l.f. bronzer contour in the color Fair. Love this product. It's such a good one, especially if you like a really like cool tone kind of bronzer. This one is a very, very good one. Like I said, I made my thoughts known about e.l.f. lately, so not going to be purchasing from them anytime soon, but definitely still using the things I have. I'm not like boycotting them by any means, but it's just kind of like we're taking a little break. We're taking a break. Then for my blush, I use the Chic Glam Marilyn Monroe blush. This one is in the color Hollywood. This one looks really intense at first because it's like a bright, like reddy kind of color, but it does have a little bit more of like a transparent base to it. So it actually gives like a really soft kind of like pinky red tone to the cheeks. But you could definitely build it up if you do like a really intense blush look as well. Then for the highlighter, I use the Chic Glam Lucky Duck highlighter. This one, I'm kind of using it up. It's a very novelty kind of product. I wish it was a little bit smoother. I feel like it has like a little bit of like a transparency kind of patchiness when I apply it to the skin, but overall, still using it. I would not repurchase this knowing what I know now though. Then for my eyebrows, I use the Chic Glam Genius Brow Stamp. This one I don't use it as like it's intended. It used to come with like these little stamp stencils, and then you press the product onto your brow. I actually just like use a little brush and I pick up some of the brow powder and then apply it to my brows. So it's definitely working out for me that way. It is a little on the intense side though, but I definitely don't use it as intended. It's just, it gives you a really bold, blocky brow. So it just depends on whether you like that look or not. Then for my eyeshadow primer, once again, I have the Angel Luscious Eyeshadow Primer. This one is still going. Honestly, if I were to like just use this one only, I'd probably finish it by the end of next year. Like you just don't need very much of this at all. So we're still going on this one. Then for my eyeshadow palette, we use the ColourPop Sage the Day eyeshadow palette. This one is really pretty. I love the greens and I love like the browns mixed together. I really liked a lot of the looks that I came up with this one, but if you are a green eyeshadow lover, this is definitely a really lovely palette. Once again, another one of those liquid shadows from Ioni from the same like Lunar New Year collection. This one's called Loyal Gold. This one was really, really pretty. This is one I feel like you could wear like any day too. It's just like a really soft, like muted gold shimmer champagne. Very, very pretty color, so loved that one. For my liquid liner, I used the Chic Glam Wizard of Oz Wicked Witch eyeliner. Love that one as well. It's like a really good like calligraphy style pen style liner. Loved that one. And then for my pencil liner, I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in the color Mildew. Another really great color for that palette with it being green. And once again, I love just applying it to the outer corner, smudging it out, and it stayed really, really well. Then for my lip combo, we have the Glamlite Willy Wonka lip combo. This one was the lip liner. I don't think these had names. Then there was the lipstick. They are a little bit more of like a chocolatey brown kind of color as you would expect. So it definitely was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I did make it work. And then I topped it with the gloss here. This one kind of has like a melted milk chocolate kind of vibe to it. I definitely don't think these are like my favorite colors. I think I like things a little more pinky, but hey, that's what we got. And then finishing it off with the Tony Moly Pocket Bunny Spray Mist. This one I'm getting really close to the bottom. I feel like maybe 2 or 3 more cycles and this one will probably be done. So I'm definitely looking forward to finishing that one up. All right, and finally moving on to the 4th week. For my primer, we have the Ulta Poreless Face Primer. This one's kind of like one of those silicone-y pore filling ones. I don't really like those that much anymore. I am still trying to use this one up. There's actually still a good amount of product in here, so maybe like 2 more cycles of this one and I should have it finished up. For my foundation, this one was such a bust for me. Honestly, this is the AOA Studio Satin Drops foundation. This is one of those foundations that is way too thick and has no business being in a dropper bottle. Like, there's no reason. It is so thick. The opening is so small. There is a little stopper I can pull out, so I might have to do that. But honestly, the foundation, it's like kind of on the thicker side and I don't really like it. So this is definitely one I'm gonna have to like struggle through. I might like mix it with something else to kind of make it more tolerable for me. For color wise too, it's also kind of yellow, so I don't love it, but we might do like a Franken foundation with this one because I just do not like it on its own. Then for my concealer, we have the Hard Candy Glamouflage. This used to be one of my all-time favorites, and now I'm definitely not as much in love with it as I used to be. Another one that's really on the yellow side for me, so another thing I might in the future kind of like Franken mix it to make it a little bit more pinky tone. That would be perfect. I don't even know if they still make this one anymore. You definitely have to set it though. Like, it's a really full coverage concealer, but you have to set it or it'll just be like a really big mess. Speaking of setting powders, this is one that I really love. This is from AOA Studio Perfect Setting Powder. I feel like it's just such a good one. I love the color tone of it. It goes slightly more pinky, has a lot of good coverage, and I just love it. It's so inexpensive too. This is probably one of my favorite setting powders I have in my entire collection at the moment, so definitely a good one. For my contour, this one is the SheGlam Sun Sculpt Liquid Bronzer. This one's called Soft Tan. This one is really good if you like that gray tone contour color. This one is very pigmented too, so a little bit will go a long way. I do find though, I don't really like this one applied to my skin alone. I feel like I do have to do a little bit of like a warm bronzer to make my skin not like look super crazy dead, so I definitely like this one, but I have to mix it like in conjunction with another product just to make my skin have a little bit more life and depth to it. Then for my blush, this one is the AOA Studio I Heart Dew Blush Drops. This one's in the color Cutie Pie. I really like these. These are another really good like sheer layerable type of blush drop, and I love this color. It's got a little bit of warmth to it, so I definitely feel like this one really suits my skin tone really well. And then for my highlighter, this one is from, I think it's 1999. And this one is called the Cream Highlight Stick in the color Miel. I'm typically not a fan of like highlighter sticks. I definitely don't like applying these like straight to my skin. I find like they sometimes can like disrupt the foundation underneath, but I do like rubbing my finger on it and then like applying it to my cheeks that way. And this one has a really pretty like soft like pinky bronzy kind of color tone to it, so it actually looks really nice on my skin tone, so I do like that one. It is a very subtle one though. It's not going to give you like a super reflective look, so if you're like something a little more low-key, this is a good one. For my brows, I once again used the SheGlam Please Freckle Tint. So it's not really a brow product. I don't really do like the faux freckles very much, but I had this and I was like, maybe I could use this as like an eyebrow product. So I end up painting it into my brows, and then I use a separate angled brush to like blend it in because it is like very flimsy kind of brush. So I like having a shorter angled brush to like really paint it in. It does give my brows a little bit more of like a reddish tint, which I don't love, but I was trying to like find an alternative use for this since I don't really do like the freckles too much. Luckily it was an inexpensive product, so it's not like I'm out a whole lot of money, but I thought I'd try it differently. For my eyeshadow primer, I'm still working on this mini of the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. This is another one, like there's still a good amount of product, like there's about that much still in there. So this one's definitely going. Then for my eyeshadow, I honestly, the week of this one was the week of Thanksgiving, and I did not really wear a lot of makeup that week, so unfortunately I think I only used this one maybe like 2, maybe 3 times. So I feel like I definitely didn't get as much of like a feel for this palette as I would have liked. The only thing is I wish there were more matte colors in here because there's only 1, 2, 3, and then like the super light white one. So I wish there was a little bit more of like a warmer matte. There is that one, but it's still pretty cool as far as like mattes go. But it's still a really pretty palette. I just need to play around with it more, but of the times I did get to use it, I really like that one and that one. Those were super pretty ones. And then I don't think I got to use this at all. This was the Stila eyeshadow in Little White Lies formula, and it's the Lilac Legend. I didn't end up getting to use that one, so we're gonna have to use that one soon. For my pencil liner, I used the, I think I only used this one day. This one was the gel eyeliner in the color Indigo. It was very pretty though. I loved that kind of like soft blue kind of color. It's really nice if you want a little pop of color but nothing too intense. This was a really nice one. Then for my liquid liner, I used the LA Colors liquid liner. Not a fan of this one. Just kind of using it to use it up, but don't love it. And then for all of the weeks, these were the mascaras that I used. This one was the Essence Lash Princess Primer, and this one is the Floss Rise Above. Love this, don't love this. This one's very hard to remove, but I do have a product that I've been using lately to help remove like tough eyeliners, or mascaras rather, and it's definitely been doing a really good job at removing this. So it's a SheGlam product. It's a SheGlam product, I think it's called like the Easy Lash Lighter or something like that, and it's really good at removing any tough mascaras. So definitely try that out if you have issues with removing some really stubborn mascaras. All right, then for my lip combo, we have the AOA Studio Artista Lip Liner Pen. I did not like this at all. This one is in the color beige. This one, it's just so watery. It's like a liquid liner, but for your lips, and I do not like it. I'm just trying to use it up, but it was not my favorite, and the color tone didn't really go with this product very well, which this is the YSL lipstick in the color. Of course, they don't have the color on here. It's the Rouge Volupte Shine formula, but it's number 62X00044. Love this formula though. It's not very, like, there's not a lot of base color to it, but it gives you gorgeous, like, gloss to the lips. And I always feel so bougie whenever I use this. I think I got this from like an Allure box. Love it. It's so good. All right, and then finally we have the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Spray. I feel like this one I've been using it, but it's just not going anywhere. So this one's definitely got a long way to go. All right, guys, so that is it for all of my products that I used up in November. I will have my Shop My Stash shopping portion for December. We're gonna do something a little bit crazy for the final month for the Shop My Stash. So definitely be looking out for that video. And then also, I think I'm definitely gonna mention this again in my next Shop My Stash video, but I do want you guys to like give me some ideas for any type of like little projects for 2026 as far as like monthly makeup challenges. I have a lot of ideas. There's one thing I'm definitely implementing, but if you guys have like any ideas for that as well, that would be great. So in the past, I've done like, I just pick a set of makeup, use that for a month, and then the next month I'll pick a new set and then use that for a month. So I've done that before. I've done where I just pick a single set of makeup and like use that for the year, and then whenever I use up products, I'll bring in a new one. Of course, this month we did the Shop My Stash, so every week is like a new batch of products, which was really, really fun and was a great way for me to really get to cycle through my collection. Of course, I didn't get to use like everything so far, but it was a really great option to really like rediscover new things like in my collection already. So if you guys have like any fun, unique twists or ideas for things like that, definitely let me know. Like I said, I do have something that I have already planned that I'm going to be implementing, but it's something that can kind of like go concurrently with another like makeup project. So if you guys have any fun ideas, definitely leave your suggestions below. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media. Links are below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.